Hello, this is Gio. Hey, look what we have here. We have a wall that I'm about to paint. You can already see I did a little test sample here. But before we paint, we need to remove a couple of wall anchors. These two anchors kind of held up a heavy mirror. We're not going to hang up the mirror anymore, so we need to get rid of these wall anchors. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you get out all the screws and just leave the anchors themselves. Now these are just the typical standard plastic anchors. There are also metal anchors that have a little bit of a different trick to remove. Those you could, I'll probably do another video later, but those you basically need to snap off the heads of the metal anchors. But these plastic ones are really simple to remove. But first I just kind of want to show you how these anchors typically work. Now this is just a standard wall anchor right here. And you basically drill in a hole in the wall, insert this, and then put in your screw. And when you screw these things in, the anchor right here will expand like this. And basically you got about a ½ inch of drywall, and this will prevent the anchor from moving out of the drywall. But so when you remove or back out the screw, the anchor could again kind of shut itself. Now these do have a little bit, these little wings, frictions, grips that will also help keep the anchor in the wall even with the screw out. But essentially the anchor can close like that, and you could just easily remove it once you kind of back out the screw or remove the screw. And all you really need to do this is, again, you need either an original screw or a screw that kind of just fits tightly into the anchor. You need a screwdriver right here, and you need just some pliers. These are kind of big pliers, but you can use smaller pliers as well. So first we're just gonna kind of drive in this screw just a little bit, not just enough to kind of for it to grip the anchor just like that, but not deep enough that those wings will expand. And now simply all you do is you take your pliers and pull the anchor out. Now for drywall, this will probably cause limited damage around the anchor itself. You will be just left with a hole that you have to plug up. But I do have a little bit of a complication. This is not drywall. This is a lath and plaster wall. And the problem with lath and plaster is that the plaster on top of the lath is brittle. And so when you pull these things out, you could pop out a whole piece of plaster with it. And so if you do have a lath and plaster wall, I want you to do one thing before you pull these things out. And that is simply to get a little thin piece of wood like that, drill a hole just slightly bigger than the head of the anchor. So you can slip this over just like that, and so you can hold down the plaster while you pull this thing out. So that's what we're going to do. And there you go. Now one wing did kind of stay in the wall, but that's okay because it's in the wall. We're going to fill up this hole, and you could see a little bit of damage if I can zoom in to the plaster right here. Again, it's brittle, but not much damage. You can fill that in really easily. Let's do it with the other plug. And this one again broke, but again, it's still in the wall, so you're good to go. Now I think the reason why these anchors broke at the wings is because it's actually in a lath and plaster wall. The drywall, it would have probably slipped right out whole, but these were probably embedded in some of the lath boarding that's behind the plaster. So no issues, minimum damage, and so we'll just plug this up with some spackle. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button at the bottom of the screen, and maybe even consider subscribing to my channel. I will have many more videos to come. Bye-bye.